this is Colonel Fred O'Callaghan, former director of the Army School of Music for many years. When the Army School of Music was started in 1923, we now celebrate its centenary this year, and I thought it appropriate that Fred would be interviewed about the early days. Fred was born in 1927, so the School of Music was only 4 years old when he was born. I want to talk to you, Fred, about your growing up in Upper Leeson Street and your family.
Right.
What did your dad work at?
My dad was in Chorus Upper Elm, and it was the only permanent occupation that he had, and he cycled every day from Upper Leeson Street to Broadstone
Yeah.
and back again. And he was a man who had lots of ideas and so on, but some people thought he should be pushing himself more so that he'd get promotion within the job, but he was quite happy in the routine that he'd established for himself.
Yes. Was your mother also a Dublin lady?
She was indeed,
What
yes.
was her name?
Her maiden name was
Maiden
Duffy,
Duffy.
yes.
And how many children were there in your family?
6. Do you mean my siblings?
Your
My
siblings, correct.
6, yes. One brother sadly died in an accident
That was down in Arklow.
down in Arklow, exactly, yes. So that reduced us to 5.
How many sisters?
2 sisters,
2 sisters.
3 brothers, including the brother who died.
I met one of your brothers, Brendan. The last time I called to your house in Dean's Grange, he made me a pot of tea.
Oh, right, yes,
And I have spoken a number of times to your sister,
yes,
Dipna, on the phone.
yes.
Tell me, my understanding is that when your brother was tragically killed in Arklow, that you were strong enough to play the organ at the funeral mass. Would that be true?
That I was
You played the organ.
yes, well, not really, it wasn't a full organ, you know, it was what do they call them?
Piano.
You know, like a harmonium,
Yes.
but a good, very good quality harmonium. It wasn't a pipe organ, you know.
I understand. I want to talk to you then about the formation of the Irish School of Music.
Yes,
We talked about the Germans first.
yes.
Just tell me a little bit about the 2 Germans.
Well, they both were employed from the same date, and it was always thought in the school that they were deadly enemies, the 2 of them.
Okay.
And apparently, at one stage, when the School of Music had moved into Beggars Bush Barracks in Dublin, they could be heard shouting at one another across the square. But as Colonel Doyle commented at a later stage, you can respect people very much even if you don't like them, you know.
Good comments.
I think that was their situation.
Now, when you joined in 1942, the German Colonel Fitzpraze had just died 2 years previously.
That's right, yes.
You became very friendly with his daughter Mona.
Well, yes. Mona went to Germany as a third-year student, as it were, before the war, and she wasn't encouraged to come back when there was a danger that war occurred. So she found herself stranded Germany for the duration of the war and came back very soon after the end of the war.
I attended Mona's funeral in James Grange, wasn't it? No, Paris Cross. It was a lovely humanist service.
Sorry?
I attended Mona's funeral
Oh, yes.
in
Mount
Paris
Jerome.
Cross, and you chose the music on the occasion.
Yes.
I remember the eulogy that was read, and it would appear that she was quite a gifted woman.
Oh, yes, she was.
One of the comments I remember was that she was good at carpentry or plumbing. What was her profession?
Mona, she was a radiologist in all the, the hospital, South King Street,
Yes, I know.
Mercer's.
Yes, Mercer.
So she was a radiologist there.
Can I ask, when I was in boys' company at the School of Music in 1968, the boys would often comment that any time that there was a social occasion that Fred attended, Mona would always be by his side.
Oh, yes.
And we always felt, I hope to get married.
Yes.
Did you ever want to marry?
Well, I would have liked to be married, yes. But I don't know if are you asking me why I didn't marry Mona?
I suppose indirectly, yes.
Yes, well, I don't know. There was just a few years of difference in our ages, and I don't know really how I could explain it further than that.
That's okay. I wanted to talk to you then about the other German, Zauerswig. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Sauerzweig.
Sounds fine.
Yes.
He was the director when you joined.
He was director. He was assistant director to Brasa, and when Brasa died, he automatically became director. And in fact, there was a bit of a struggle then with regard to rank, because Brasa had been offered the rank of colonel if you take on the job of the School of Music. But some people in the Department of Defence felt that this was just a rank peculiar to Brasa himself, and that there was no actual reason why his successor would automatically become a colonel. So, this is a rather long story, I suppose, but Sauerzweig was a great friend of Terry de Valera, and Terry de Valera thought very highly of Sauerzweig, and Sauerzweig used to help him. Terry had ideas about composing himself, and Sauerzweig would help him,
Yes.
with suggestions or criticisms. And I came into the picture then because Terry de Valera didn't play piano, but he needed somebody to play for him, and so Sauerzweig was helping him to compose,
Yes.
and I used to be called in then to play
Yes.
Sauerzweig's version of what Terry W. had composed.
Yes.
So, in that way, I became very friendly with Terry W. as well.
And did Sarswick attain the rank of Colonel?
I think what really got him the
rank?
The promotion.
The Devonera connection.
Well, I could have played some part as well, but the tattoo, you know, the tattoo after the war.
Yes.
So it's like had he composed special arrangements for the tattoo and so on. And I think that had something to get him the rank of full colonel as well.
How many boys were in the school when you joined?
Well, I joined there. I couldn't say how many, but there were over 20, and there was they formed quite a good little band themselves.
The boys' band?
Yes, the boys' band.
And how were you chosen then, from going from a boy to becoming a cadet at a time of lieutenant?
Cadet. Well, I started going to night school. You see, one of the fundamental qualifications that a cadet to the School of Music would need was a degree
in music, bachelor in music.
Yes, sorry. Oh dear.
A bachelor of music, B-Mus.
No.
No. You're leaving cert?
No. Yeah, I've just forgotten that.
Not to worry.
That name. And so the first sign that I might get promotion from a boy was that on Saturday mornings, that was long before your 5-day week, you know. Saturday mornings was a busy day in the School of Music with inspections and so on. And one day, Sarswick asked me, would I like to study harmony? And of course I snapped at the chance. And he used to take me every Saturday morning to teach me harmony. So
that brings me to another story.
yes.
A friend of yours, a very good friend, Frank Scully from County Carlow. Frank Scully.
Oh yes.
Yes. Frank was a member of the band of the Curragh for many years. He was a sax player in the Curragh band.
What in the Curragh band?
He played the saxophone.
Oh, saxophone, yes.
Yes,
indeed.
And when he retired,
yes.
You got a mention in the dispatches. And he says, to quote Frank, he remembers 2 other County Carlow men joined the School of Music at the time. There were Tommy Boyle and Ginger Hines, both from Bagenstown.
Yes.
Tommy Boyle, now retired, went on to become the leader of the Garda band,
Right.
attaining the rank of superintendent.
Yes.
Now this is the important part where Freddie gets mentioned. Frank recalls that a marvellous man named Freddie O'Callaghan from Dublin was officer in charge of the school. Freddie opened our minds to opera, through events like Gilbert and Sullivan's season, and also the beauty of art through visiting museums. To this day, we are firm friends. A lovely tribute from Frank, and also he mentions Tommy Boyle,
Yes.
the conductor of the Garda band.
Yes.
When the 50th anniversary of the School of Music occurred in 1973,
Yeah.
there was no concert hall as we know it today in Errisford Terrace.
Right.
We played in the concert hall in the RDS.
Yes.
And the brochure that was given out in the night, Tommy Boyle was asked to say a few words.
Yes.
And again, he echoed what Frank has just said about the generosity of Fred O'Callaghan to Boys Company. That you were so, the opera and the arts. Another thing I remember from my young days was your garden. Tell me about how that came about.
How the garden came about. That's the garden in the barracks.
Yes, your garden, we call it.
Well, I didn't regard it as my garden, but during the war years, during the emergency, there was, the government were encouraging everybody to grow vegetables.
Yes.
And so the barracks, called Portobello Barracks as it was then, they took up that call, and any bits of land in the barracks that weren't overgrown with grass or otherwise usefully used were turned into gardens, and men from my quarters were given allotments in the barracks, and one of the allotments was that space behind the guard room.
Yes.
And outside the hospital block. And so when the war finished anyway, that it was not in use any longer, that place there. So with the help of the boys and the NCOs that were in it, we turned that into a garden.
It was...
PJ, just mind shuffling the papers while he's talking, please. Nice. No, you keep it off, just...
that was my first introduction to how to tend a garden.
Oh yeah.
You were very fortunate, we were very fortunate in that you, part of our theory as it were, was that we would put out to the garden and we would take charge of it. We would weed, and you had a little pond with a goldfish in it, and we would feed the goldfish.
Yes.
And there was a lovely granite stone that was facing south that you could sit on and just chill out.
Yes. And in fact, we sometimes had lectures that would normally be done on a day. We arranged chairs, and there was a gravel seat there as well, and we held the classes in the garden.
Out of the sunlight.
Yes.
The other people I wanted to mention to you, apart from the Germans, there was Captain Bowles.
Yes.
Now, was he involved? How did he become involved with Radio Éirinn?
How did he become
involved with Radio Éirinn?
Well, Radio Éirinn started in 1936. The idea of having an radio orchestra, of course, was very far from their ambitions at the time. But eventually, they used to use the army bands to broadcast. And even, I remember one Christmas Day, when the band couldn't go on leave because they had to do the Christmas Day broadcast.
Yeah.
And that also led to the beginnings of a radio orchestra. You had a small group of instruments, and they would augment them with members of the bands, of the army bands, for special occasions and so on. And gradually, an orchestra was formed which could play scores, like even say a Mozart symphony
Oh God.
for broadcast.
He left the army then at early, did he?
Pardon?
He left the army at an early age.
Bowles.
Yes.
Oh, he did, yes. Roger Aaron looked for. There weren't all that many professional conductors in the country, and Roger Aaron looked for a conductor from the School of Music, and they came to an arrangement that Captain Doyle and Captain Bowles would rotate in the job. So your question was?
Well, no, that's okay. No,
That's the answer. Yes.
You mentioned Captain Doyle.
Yes.
When I joined in 1968, he was then the director.
Yes.
The rank of full colonel.
Yes.
And he had a daughter I knew quite well, Margaret.
Yes.
She lived down the South Circular Road.
Yes.
Did he have any other children?
He did, yes. He had one, Anne, who still lives in France. But Margaret sadly died. And I think that was his entire family.
The cadets that joined around your time, who would have joined in around your period?
Sorry?
The cadets that came in with you that time.
Yes.
How many of you were there?
Who came cadets at the same time as myself?
Yes.
Yes, there were three of us. And Jim McGee was he wasn't the oldest. Dennis Manrick became a cadet, Jim McGee and myself. And like they'd advertised the vacancy and had interviews. And the three of us were accepted. But actually there were only vacancies for 2 officers when the time came. So it was decided that they would create the new appointment of instructional officer. So I got the job of instructional officer, and Jim McGee went to Athlone, and Dennis Merrick to the Curragh.
Well, I have to say we were very lucky that you were chosen to stay in Dublin. Because I remember Saturday mornings, you would have what you called music appreciation.
Oh, yeah?
And you had the old vinyl records, and you would play a piece of music by Beethoven or whoever, and you would offer a shilling, which was a nice sum of money at the time, to any of the boys who knew the Christian name of Tchaikovsky.
Oh.
And I was very lucky that I knew his, when I call him Peter, but Pater I suppose would be the
Yeah.
And I got the shilling that particular morning. So I
have no recollection of that.
thank you for that. I bought sweets.
On Saturdays?
Yes, because Saturday was a working day for us. Well, Saturday up to 12:30.
Yes.
Yes, and we would have a morning in the museum, a morning at an exhibition, or a movie, one of the musicals at the time, or music appreciation in the school itself.
I thought that the chaplain gave, I thought Saturday morning and it was the religious instruction from the chaplain.
Or that too, but that wouldn't last for 3 hours, Fred. That would be a short half hour.
All right, yeah, yes.
I wanted to ask you about the changes when you became a boy in 1942,
Yes.
or joined the School of Music. What were the living conditions like for the boys in the evening with regard to entertainment?
What were they?
The conditions like for the boys, what would they do at night?
They were pretty awful, I must say. And the rooms were cold. We had turf, we'd open great turf fires, and but the turf was mostly soaking wet, you know, hadn't dried out at all. And it wasn't only that it wasn't a very effective heat, but also it was very hard to get them lighting in the morning. So we had to get up in the morning and hope that there might be a little spark in the grate from the previous night that we could blow until we managed to get a flame. And then even the one room would have managed to get a fire going, and another room wouldn't. And the people from the other room came with the shovel and shoveled some of the lighting turfs
To the other room.
to the other, yes, which was not approved, of course.
Did you improve conditions then for the boys?
Did I improve?
Improve? Because when I joined, the conditions were quite good. We had a billiard table, we
Yes.
had a TV room,
Yeah.
we had various games were provided.
Yes.
Like chess was introduced.
Well, the boys had no recreation room or no games room, but I gradually, if I may say so, was kind of recognised by the adjutant at the time, Captain Walsh, Joe Walsh, as having some leadership qualities, and he also decided that the boys should have a quiet room, he called it, you know, where they could write their letters home, and there was a small radio and so on. So he put me in charge of that, and in that way I found myself gradually being given more leadership responsibility than before.
What I found about leaving Tulle in County Galway to join the Army School of Music was that when you came in the gate, it was my first time in an army barracks,
Yes,
and you went to the left
yes,
to the School of Music,
right,
and there was just a quietness. There was no, it was a cul-de-sac, wasn't it? That there was no other roadway beyond that, the band hall, or the boys. It was a quiet place to be.
oh really, yes,
Very quiet. And we also had our own dining room,
yes,
apart from the regular soldiers. It was separate from the regular soldiers.
yes,
That was a lovely idea. I suppose the fact that we were all between 14 and 16
yes,
would have helped that family kind of atmosphere that we were given at the time.
right.
It was a lovely quiet place.
Oh, that's nice to hear. Yes,
Oh, it's lovely.
yeah, yes. Well,
Before we finish, I wanted to ask you about the fire.
oh,
In 1968, will we break
Yeah.
those because I need to get a paper.
Go for it.
Okay, please. In 1968, I joined on the 16th of January.
yes,
But on the 25th of January
yes,
1968, the Evening Herald had a headline on the front page, and it
yes,
says, Army youths slept through fire. And it goes on to give an account of the fire.
yeah,
Now, my recollection is that there was a Corporal Paddy Maguire,
yes,
Orderly Sergeant,
yes,
and that when he called us for rallying in the morning,
yes,
there was no, we were upstairs, there was no roof, there was no ceiling. I was looking out at a blue sky.
yes,
Now, somehow during the night, a fire started,
yes,
spread to the roof,
yes,
and nobody saw, nobody heard, and nobody was hurt.
yeah,
But in the article then, in the Evening Herald, you've got a mention again in the dispatches, and it mentions that the fire might have started in Captain O'Callaghan's office.
yes.
How did you feel about that?
I felt awful about it because the assumption would be made the previous evening that we hadn't made sure that it was fireproof, you know, that the office was fireproof. And that wasn't the case at all.
Did you do anything to correct the article?
I contacted the Army information people and about the paper's version of the fire starting in my office, and they said, "Well, you can blame your Corporal Maguire for that. It was he that gave that information to the press."
Okay.
But I think that Corporal Maguire denied that. I think he denied that it was he that passed on words to the press.
Well, yes, that would be true because he's mentioned at the start of the article as being contacted.
Yes,
They contacted the press office, the
yes,
Evening Herald contacted Paddy Maguire and he gave them the article.
yes,
Yes. Lastly, Freddie, I want to talk to you about going back to the 50th anniversary. And the Evening Herald, again, the Evening Herald, of the 21st of August 1973.
yes,
And there's a lovely article written by Fanny Feeney.
yes.
Tell me about Fanny Feeney. She was...
Tell you about her.
Yes.
Well, I think she was principally a violinist to start off, but she was also a music critic and like not just a music critic, but she was a music correspondent for the paper.
Yes. And for the 50th anniversary, she visited you in the School of Music in Colorado Barracks.
She did?
She did. And she writes a nice little piece about it. When I visited the Army School of Music in Colorado Barracks, in brackets Portobello Barracks,
Yes.
recently, I was struck by the atmosphere and resemblance of a convent. There is the same fresh, innocent, good humour that you find in a convent. It stems, I think, from good organisation, trust and discipline. And she mentions that you introduced her to the boys' company and how the whole thing operated.
I see. I don't remember that article. Maybe you give me a copy of it
I
afterwards.
could of course. Then there was, just to finish off her article, she said at the end, no shortage was the heading. There is no shortage of young musicians for the bands. I was told of a young man who from a very early age was seized by a passion to play the tuba and has now realised his heart's desire and turned out to be a very good tuba player. So she mentions that most of the boys that joined might have been in a brass band in their own towns, which leads me to Artane,
Right?
because again in my time
Yeah,
in the school, out of the boys' company maybe numbering 50,
yes,
20 would have come from Artane.
yes,
Very nice, gentle boys,
yeah,
good musicians,
yeah,
and they fitted in very well. Something that bothered me was because I could go back to Tune for my 3 weeks of the summer.
yes,
What did the boys from Artane do?
I,
Would they have stayed around Dublin in the barracks, or would they have? There wouldn't be a lot of money.
they would, sometimes one boy would invite one of the Artane boys to go home with him for the holiday, you know. But no arrangement. I mean, I think there were Christmases when there would be one or two boys actually left in the school,
Yes.
uninvited to a normal Christmas as we would experience it.
Finally, then we go to the conductor. You mentioned his name earlier, Dennis Merrick, the conductor
Yes.
of the Corbat,
Yes,
an eccentric man.
yes.
Tell me about your friendship with Dennis.
Well, we were cadets together, and there were tough times for cadets. Jim McGee, Dennis, and myself were cadets together, and then when Dennis left the career, he moved down to County Waterford. I'm sorry, is this what you're
Yes,
looking
yes.
for?
Thank you.
Yes,
Yes.
and he would invite me down there for holidays, and he always loved to see me coming because we could talk about memories and so on. And that little house that he lived in down, what's the name of the little town where he lived?
Connor. Was it Connor?
Connor. Well,
East Cork,
yeah, yes.
near Fermoy.
Yes, he lived in a little house that had belonged to
Jessica.
Jessica, yes.
She was the actor in Murder, She Wrote. Isn't that the lady?
Yes, yes.
Jessica Lansbury, I think. Yeah.
She died just a little while ago.
She did actually.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
I remember visiting that house. He also had a piano
Yes,
installed.
yes. He loved, like, it wasn't just he liked playing piano, but he loved the instrument itself. And he'd go to auctions and might see what it was an obvious bargain, and he couldn't resist, even though he had a perfectly good piano at home, he couldn't resist buying another one.
Do you remember his dog? He had a lovely King Charles.
Oh yes, indeed.
Laddie, he called it.
Yes, Laddie.
Yes.
What happened, Laddie? She died.
She died from old age. Yes.
Yes,
On one of my visits to you, you mentioned a Dennis story about a titled lady in Newbridge.
oh yes. I just said things haven't been the same since the military left. Is that true?
Yes, Dennis.
Yes, Dennis.
Can you tell the story from the beginning?
Yes, well, the older people, when I was growing up, the older people in Dublin would have generally classed the soldiers as the military. That mean all the British Army people that were there, you know. And there was some big annual ball in the Curragh when Dennis was there, and as well as the mess members who attended the ball, there were also the local gentry are also invited to it, you know. And Dennis apparently, who wasn't terribly interested in dancing, was walking around to the ballroom and he spotted this little lady who seemed to be very lonely and neglected, and he spoke to her about it, and she spoke of her memories of the days when she was growing up and all the British Army celebrations and festivities in the choir. And Dennis, of course, encouraged her to tell these stories. And then she said, "Oh yes, I always say things have not been the same here since the military left."
Thank you, Fred.
And then I think I told you that, you know, I think it was during the 1916 commemorations, and there's a documentary film made, and for the purposes of the documentary film, Irish soldiers had to dress up in the British uniforms of the 1916 period, and they had to march in from Dunleary in along towards
The city?
pardon?
The city?
Yes, yes. And but of course, as far as the local people are concerned, these are British soldiers. And one old lady was heard to say, "Ah, isn't it lovely to see them back again?"